buenos dias. There you go. I spoke a foreign language, everybody. How you all doing? All good? Ooh, sorry, just organising myself in my chair. Getting comfortable. How are we all doing? What's been happening this morning? Anything exciting? Haven't looked at anything this morning. I've been head down, coding away. Haven't got a clue what's gone on. So we'll have a look at everything that's happened this morning. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Bear with me a sec. Okay, right. I'm just going to quickly flick through, see if the EA's done anything exciting. Nothing exciting there. 76 banked on H4M15 mean reversion. Euro odd. Can't remember if we looked at that one this morning, but if we didn't, that's banked. Trend pullback, hasn't banked anything yet. And good day on the old cot bias, H4M15 mean reversion, Euro Swiss banked. So basically out of all of those euros, apart from Euro, US dollar and Euro yen now. So nearly flat on the euros. Euro yen. Kind of just still hanging around up there, isn't it? I've only got the one position on it though, so taken one off already. Just taking a second trade on that. And Euro US dollar, wherever the hell that is. There it is. We've got 2 on that. Coming down to a break even, but that's still grinding away. Obviously US dollar hasn't done an awful lot, so a fair bit banked today, not too bad. 2%, nearly 3% banked, so very healthy. Let's see what my strategy quant EAs have been up to. Not a lot. Right. Hope you're doing good. I'll catch the replay. Hang on, you're in here. You're catching it live. Unless you're disappearing off, obviously. That's fine. Right. So let's have a quick look at where we are today so far. Dixie hasn't done an awful lot today. Obviously, Asian session is there. There's our London session. So London session is within Asia. So we basically have gone nowhere today on the Dixie so far. So bleh. As I suspected today, it's a flat day for the US dollar because it's there's no news. So I'll whiz through everything and see where everything else is. Obviously, this is going to be a really, really interesting session, guys. About as interesting as this morning's was and yesterday afternoon's. ADR, flat. Nothing has moved. 4-hour extensions, flat. Nothing has moved. 1-hour extensions, flat. Nothing has moved. Anybody got anything to trade? Oh my God. Awful. So there's no opportunities on 4-hour RSI, no opportunities on the hourly RSI, no ADR extensions. Yeah, right. So we'll whiz through everything and have a quick look. CAD just managed, Aussie CAD just about managed to break out of the highs of Asia, just. So London's basically putting 2 little legs up. Not gone anywhere. Aussie Swiss, not gone anywhere. So we broke down in London, we broke back up, flat. Holding at the top of that range. Aussie dollar yen, not gone anywhere, exactly in the middle of the Asian. Aussie New Zealand, middle of the Asian. Aussie US, middle of the Asian. CAD Swiss, moved. There we go. CAD Swiss, we've had 11 pips. Movement on the CAD Swiss. CAD Yen. It's moved down a little bit, but we're still back in the Asian range. Swiss yen, just wicked just out the top of the Asian range. Right, euros, our little friends. So euro odd pushed down quite nicely. We're down to the 50% reversal point on the fib. Hi, Trevor. So we've broken out the lows, pulled back in, holding the Asian low at the moment. So again, no real movement today. We have popped our head down and back up again. Euro CAD popped our head outside the Asian range, popped our head outside the Asian range and back inside it. Just had a reversal alert on that one, but it doesn't mean anything, so it's not gone anywhere. Excuse me. You can tell by my voice how excited I am about this price action today. Euro Swiss has pulled down. We are outside of the Asian range. Euro Swiss has actually managed to actually break the Asian range and hold below. So that's about the biggest mover we've had so far. Euro Pound, just about outside the Asian range. We're just retesting the H1 reversal alert at the moment, which has been, because it's so flat, it's a multi-day reversal alert on the hourly. God, couldn't make it up, this price action. Euro yen, not gone anywhere. Euro New Zealand, not gone anywhere. Euro US, not gone anywhere. Pound odd, not gone anywhere. Pound CAD, Pound CAD's broken the Asian highs. We are just retesting at the moment. Nice shooting star gone in there. So that's just a retest of the break of yesterday, which took 3 days. This reversal alert took 3 whole days. So it took 3 days for price to actually decide, I might want to go down. And now it's come back and gone, actually, I'm not sure. Pound Swiss in the Asian range. Pound yen just tapped outside the Asian range. So the pound's probably the strongest movers of the day, but they haven't gone anywhere. Pound New Zealand in the Asian range, pound US in the Asian range. New Zealand CAD, if we'd looked a couple of minutes ago, it wouldn't be, but we're 1.5 pips outside the Asian range now. New Zealand Swiss is in the Asian range. New Zealand yen is in the Asian range. So is the US. And the US CAD has just popped its head above, and everything else is in the Asian range. So, anybody make any money this morning? If so, what were you trading? 1 tick? Awful. I tried to scalp something this morning as well. That was a big mistake. I didn't make anything. I didn't lose anything, but yeah. I was playing with the EA obviously while I was developing it, and taking a few trades with it to make sure the functionality's working, and it just didn't. I didn't manage to get anywhere, obviously. So yeah, nothing's moved. So we are basically sitting sideways in accumulations on everything at the minute, waiting for some kind of clue as to price action this week. But as I said, this week is, I said it on Monday morning, don't expect a lot of movement this week because we have no news and a talking head ahead of us. No news really tomorrow either. So it's all kicking off basically with CPI and Bailey. On Thursday, heaven forbid, we have the same sort of day tomorrow, where we're just doing nothing as well. So no new opportunities this morning. I haven't entered any new trades. The EA's got me out of a load of trades, just about, on those euros. Price action is just about to got me out of some positions, but that's it, flat. Gold, funnily enough, just inside the Asian range. Let's see what Bitcoin and Ethereum have been up to. Nothing inside the Asian ranges. We've had an ADR. Actually, no, that's broken down, isn't it? Yeah, they've both broken down. Obviously, we've got quite a tight range on the cryptos at the minute. Not as tight as that. Jeez. We've got a fairly tight range. So we've hit ADRs on this just because we had some big whipsaw price action during the Asian session. But again, nothing else has moved. So DJ, I think market will move tomorrow. Might do. Oh, God, I hope so. It's painful. I mean, we've got that's inflation expectations aren't going to do anything for New Zealand. Crude will affect the CAD. We've got two talking heads at 5 p.m. So basically, if you look at tomorrow's actual news, excluding the CAD, is at 5 o'clock. I'm finishing at 5 o'clock. I don't trade past 5 o'clock. So it's all post-market tomorrow. So I think Thursday is when we're going to kick off. I'm not sure we're going to get any movement at all tomorrow again. We will get some movement, but it's not going to be. We're not going to get any sort of tradable price action that's really going to get us to any setups at all. So, but you never know. It can move at any time. So, New York might explode. It's due. Indices. The DAX basically today has guess what? Done virtually nothing. We don't really have an Asian range for the DAX because it doesn't open until 7 a.m. UK time. So the open went up and came down. So we're looking like we're having a slight downtrend day on the DAX. I just traded that. Nasdaq hasn't gone anywhere. We've just slightly broken down below the lows. And the S&P's done the same. So popped our head out the Asian highs, popped our head out the Asian lows, and back in during London. So same as the Dow. Dow went out the top. So yeah, it's just flat as a pancake. Absolute hideous trading conditions this morning. Couldn't really do anything. So basically at the moment, looking at what we're going to do with the futures this afternoon. So at present, we're putting in a down day on the indices, just about. Wow, a reversal alert. Look. Shock horror. There's been a few reversal alerts, but they're all M15 and they're all like kind of whipsaw price action. So you can't really trade those because they haven't gone anywhere. So yeah, so if both indices we're slightly down on the day. We're still inside bar on yesterday at the moment. So I think really today, it's really difficult. I'd be inclined to look for a push to the highs and lows and range bounces today. I can't see that we're going to go anywhere. So I think whatever movement we put in at the open, are kind of looking for reversals on it. It's difficult to tell. We had the same thing yesterday, didn't we? Sat through all this rubbish. But what I've decided to do today is I'm going to scale in to positions rather than try and add into winners because the market's not moving fast enough. So I was toying with the idea this afternoon of either going up to full contract sizing, so just trading the Nasdaq rather than the micros, like the minis rather, and just going for it, or scaling in. So I'll make a decision when I look at the price action, I think, on the open as to what I'm going to do today, but there's nothing happening, is there? So yeah, anybody got anything else they want to discuss or look at? Because there's nothing happening. Same as yesterday. It's taking me 15 minutes to do the morning and the afternoon analysis. There's nothing to analyse. Nothing's moved. There's no point in going through the charts as an overview because we're exactly where we were on Monday when I did the overview. We haven't gone anywhere. So if you want to do an quick overview, go back to Monday and watch Monday's video. Have a look at where we are now. Same spot. So hopefully get some movement tomorrow. So I've been working on the scalping EA this morning. Just tidying it up, checking functionality and playing around with it basically. So I've tidied up all the inputs on it. So it's all nice and neat now. So we've got everything categorized into areas because it's getting to the point where I think version 1 is almost ready. I want to add bullish and bearish engulfings into that. I want to alter the 2 inside bar pattern recognition and What else did I want to do? There was something else I was going to do. I've got a massive list of what I want to do to it, but yeah, it's all sort of sorted really. So I've been working on the opening range break functionality this morning, which is now finished. So that will now scalp. I haven't got any data on here, have I? So it will now take trades at the opening ranges, and it will also auto trade obviously all the candlestick patterns. But it's all set up to do auto trading on the opening ranges. Is this the right version? Oh, I haven't got them drawn, that's why. And pending candles, where are you? Pending order. Let's do it to 30 minutes. Doesn't seem to be drawing. Okay, I've broken something. Either that or I haven't downloaded the latest version. I've broken something. That's always good, isn't it? I don't know which version this is. But anyway, yeah. So it's getting there. It's getting there. So I'll let you know an update on that as and when. But all the functionality on the buttons is all nice and working now. So, what's the difference between trading futures and CFDs, Andy? So CFDs are contracts for differences. So you're trading with your broker. Your agreement is with your broker for the contract that you're purchasing, and you will have a spread and a commission based on that. And obviously, the pricing is slightly different. You can enter the market with whatever you want. Yeah, so I can enter with 1.3, whatever I want on a contract, and the contract has got a value based on what you enter at. Futures. Reminds me, I need to open my futures platform. Futures, you can only enter one contract as a minimum, and a contract has a value depending on whether it's a mini or a full-size contract. So a mini contract is worth like $2.50. A full-size contract is worth $12.50 per tick. Depending on the instruments you're trading, obviously, there's a different value attached to them. But CFDs, basically, you don't have a spread. So when I hit the button to go long there, like this, bang, it gets me in right on that price with one contract. And as you can see, I'm 1.5 points up. So 1 point is worth $2.50. So you see when it gets to one point higher, it's $2.50. With a full size contract, it's $12.50. 10 on the NAS, I think. $12.50 on the S&P. Or I can't remember, to be honest. But there's a contract. There's a price attached to each one. And the other difference between trading with futures and CFDs is with CFDs you can enter multiple positions. So I can enter a position there, a position there, and a position there. With contracts in futures, if I enter a position up here, it will automatically change that to 2 contracts at an average price. So you cannot have multiple positions running at different prices. As you scale in, it will adjust your contract entry price. So it works differently. And obviously with this, you're actually trading with CME. You're trading with the futures exchange, the centralized futures exchange. So it's just different. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing, really. But obviously, futures is just a different way of trading. But yeah, that's the difference, really. Right. So, I can close that. Okay, 350 up for the day. Woohoo! Let's go. Good start. So yeah, plan for today on futures is difficult to say, really. It's a bit of a mess, the market. So looking at where we are at the moment with the S&P, obviously we are at the moment looking like we are going to do the bounce down. We're sitting at an inside bar. Same on the Nasdaq. We're sitting kind of at an inside bar at the moment on yesterday, and the bounce looks like it's working as well. So we still have got some way to go before we break these lows that we got down here. So these two areas, really, until we get a break and a hold below these areas, we're not really confirmed as market structure going bearish at the minute. So it's difficult to tell. We're in a kind of holding pattern. So we've got this candle here, which is kind of our sort of control candle. So this is in control at the moment. These areas, these levels, we haven't managed to break out below. We haven't even attempted the highs on them yet. So we need to see what happens at those lows. So those are important levels. And if we push back down here today, I will probably look maybe to buy back in. But if we push up today, I'll probably look to short back down. So I'm kind of looking for a reversal day today, whichever way we go. But as you can see, we haven't really gone far. We didn't go far yesterday. We didn't go far today. So it's a very difficult market at the moment to know where on earth we are going to be headed today. So just going to really keep an eye on levels and see if we can see where we're off to. Still got those levels drawn in from previous day. So we've got that level there now and that level there potentially to aim for. Downside, we've got that 14,350, which I think was the hourly. Yep, so it's that level there on the hourly chart. So it's 14,360, isn't it? So that's kind of a fairly important area down there. Apart from that, it's just a case of waiting to see what happens. What's everybody's thoughts? Where do we think we're going today? Are we up? Are we down? Are we sideways? What do we think? I've got 4 minutes to the open. Yeah, so the difference obviously between trading contract sizes as well, Andy, to answer your question. I'm trading, you could obviously trade micros, which are the small versions, or the normal contracts. So these are full-size Nasdaq contracts. I'll do this before the open to demonstrate the difference. 3 minutes to the open still. I'm just loading in the data because it's I haven't loaded in the full-size contracts for a while. Wow, really is loading in the data, isn't it? There we go. Still loading in the Renkos. Cool, come on. So if I hit the sell button now on this. You see the tick. We're now $5, $10, $5. Yeah, so every tick is worth $5. So it's very, very, very quick. See how quickly I go into loss on that. See if I can get that back to break even. I'm only doing this because we haven't got any movement at the moment because we're pre-market. I wouldn't do that at the open. Nah, I'll just take a loss on that one. But it's $66. That's okay. God, it cost me $66. But yeah, so your difference, obviously, between full-size contracts and the micros is quite significant. So you're kind of, depending on the instrument you're trading, you're 4 to 5 times larger position size with a full contract. Should have let that run. Look. But a lot of people trade full-size contracts, obviously, because the reward is much, much bigger. So you've got to be in and out pretty quick on a full-size contract. Most people are scalping, a couple of points, 5 points, 10 points for a big one. And it's worth a lot of money. But full-size contracts, obviously you got to be pretty hot. When the market isn't reaching the ADR, what strategy can I use to scalp? Price action, really, Michael. If the market's not moving, all you can do is trade price action at support and resistance. So just look for levels. Market's open. Just look for levels, basically. The New York opening range is being drawn in by the E8. So literally here, long price action. We just broke that high, long it. That's really all you can do on low time frames like M5. Use moving averages, so pullbacks to the moving average. Bullish engulfings. All that sort of stuff is really all you can do. If price isn't moving, not a lot you can do really. H1 RSI. Yeah, I use H1 RSI all the time. But H1 RSI has not been hit today either. Yeah, so if the market's not moving much, i.e. you're not getting an ADR move, you're not going to get many H4 extensions. So you want to be looking at 4 out at, I'm on the wrong platform, I haven't got my dashboards up, but you want to be looking at hourly and M5 basically. Hourly H1 extensions and M5 entries. If you want to get super scalpy, use M15 RSI and get in on 1 minute charts. That works too. So we're off to the highs to start with today. Dare I take one out the gates? Strong open. Earnings wise, what have we had earnings wise? Alibaba and Pfizer. Pfizer looks positive. Their price has gone up a bit today. Alibaba is loading. Mixed on Alibaba, kind of back to initial entry. Their stock price has been coming down though, so no real clues there. They're not tech anyway. Okay, go one short Just playing to see if we reject the highs of the day. See if we're going to push down today at the open. Short one more. I can use that as my get out. S&P is rejecting those highs nicely. Looks like we're off to the downside to start the day. See if we can test those lows. Adding one more short. Closing one. Just watching the S&P and seeing where the S&P goes. See if it manages to break these highs. We're just putting in a triple bottom at the minute. I just want to see that break those lows. Going one more short. Let's see if that manages to break those lows and hold the lows. We'll have a look at Michael in a minute at the H1 RSI M5 strategy, if you like. Going flat, just getting that balance back to zero. Seeing as I took that demonstration trade for Andy, which cost me $60. I know you didn't ask me to take it, but okay, pushing back up to the highs again. Okay, going long one. Double bottom. So market structure at the moment is trying to put in new highs. We've pulled back for a double bottom, so I'm looking for a break of that high there. Long one more. Okay, there's our highs hit. So 15-minute range at the moment is there. Adding one more. Okay. So looking to challenge these highs. If we can hold, we haven't closed yet, but I'm just going to take these three long. See how far we get. 3 minutes to the close of this candle, so we've got plenty of time to go yet. Just cautious about these opening ranges, because every opening range we've had for the last few days has just been like that. It's just been whipsaw, constant whipsaw. I'm so used to getting out the gates movement, which we've just not been getting. We've just been getting whipsaws and waiting an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden either dumping or pumping. Just seems to be a massive accumulation at the open at the minute. So I'm just wanting to get something in the bank, build up a little bit of a buffer in case that happens again. Closing one. Just struggling at the highs at the minute. Going flat. So just getting a bit of money in the bank up at these highs. Again, could quite easily reject those and drop. Wait for a little bit of a pullback. See if we go higher. So S&P's first area of potential resistance is going to be there if it gets there. NAS is up there, roughly the same distance to travel. Can't draw a straight line for my life. Lots of absorption at the highs. So again, we're just sitting here. All the buyers are trying to hit, and all the sellers are just absorbing it, not letting them through. Starting to tick down. Okay, just breaking the 15-minute high, challenging that level there. Meeting a bit of resistance up at the highs. Short in one. See if these highs hold. Get a break back down. If we're going to go into this horrible rangy thing that we've been doing for the last few days, I think we're just going to push up to these highs. Willing to scale in with a few positions up to those highs and see if I can get a position short built. Okay, just pulling back into the potential support we've built up so far this morning. Short one more. S&P is coming down fairly hard at the minute. Okay, we tick back down again. So looking to get down to 14,527 area. See if we get a resistance bounce, or I'd rather bounce down there. So if we're going to put in market structure, I'd expect to get down to somewhere around there and bounce back up. Just keep an eye on the S&P, see where that goes. Still got 2 minutes left on these candles. Scanning out of one. Choppy again, isn't it? So much choppiness every open now. It's just so hard to trade the opens. It's almost just want to wait now and just wait and see what happens after an hour. It's exactly the same thing as we've been getting. So this choppy mess. Just chop, 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 chop. Okay, I'm going to short one more. Decent wicks to the upside forming on all of these, both of these at the moment. It's way more bearish than it is bullish at the minute. Just tick back down again. If we can get one more tick down, might be the start of a push back down towards the lows. Not pretty, but 2 inside on S&P, yeah. It's a potential long setup. We'll see how this candle closes on the S&P. But that's not a particularly bullish I mean, it's a bullish candle, but it's still got a massive wick on it, and there's loads of wicks. So 2 inside bar. That's technically not an inside bar, but this is what I'm looking at on my EA. The rules of a 2 inside bar are a little bit flexible, I think. Now we're going to run after the highs with all my money. Okay, selling one more. I'm going to stop this all out at the top. If it gets there, taking a bit of a punt here on these wicks holding. Remember I mentioned wait until 11 a.m. EST. Unfortunately, I started trading years ago with RRB used for algos. Opening range breakouts work in stocks only at the open. They don't work after the open. Well, they do work after the open, but the first hour to hour and a half after that, when you get the opening range breakout after the first hour to hour and a half, you've got an 80 to 90% chance of it holding, which is what my EA is going to trade basically. It won't trade won't trade a 15-minute opening range break. It will trade an hour to an hour and a half, 12 to 18 candles on 5 minute is what I would call the proper opening range. Which is what we've been seeing, isn't it? Yeah, it's that move after the opening range. This. Opening range breakout. Opening range breakout. So yeah, not this early. You wouldn't trade. The 15-minute ORB works well in stocks. Not as effective in indices. But it still works. You know, it still has a high success rate, but it's what you want to take basically. You know, you got to be a bit careful with your targeting with it. Don't want to get too greedy because you, like you say, with the algos you get a lot of fake outs of the opening range. We're just going to rotation, accumulating the orders ready for the drops and the pushes. Closing one. S&P is approaching lows. Obviously, that's my take on the opening range breakout. There's lots of takes on the opening range breakout. 80% of breakouts fail. Because 80% of the time, we're range bound. Only 20% of the time, we're trending. So, as by definition, opening range breaks will fail the vast majority of the time, which is why the opening range breakout retest is the more effective. Usually. Closing, going flat. Chop, chop, chop. See what happens when we get down to the lows. Previous red one, not the starting bar. Were you talking about the inside bar? So what I class as a 2 inside bar is a strong propulsion candle. Some people call them a strong close candle, propulsion candle, whatever you want to call it. And then, so let's say this is a bear, or let's say this is a bullish one, this one here. And then a bearish move back inside, but we mustn't break the high or the low. And then a bullish move back in the direction of the initial propulsion candle without breaking the high or the low. That is a 2 inside bar, a classic 2 inside bar setup, which is bears trying to push back down, bulls absorbing the bear move, pushing back up, bears giving up, exiting their positions, ready for a move higher. So this one technically broke the rules. Push, pull. That was not a push, so it's not a 2 inside bar setup anyway. But for me, I've been doing some analysis while I've been building the EA. Oops, just shut that down. And I think a little wick outside the opening range, it's more the body pattern I'm interested in. If the body pattern matches, I think that's good enough. Personally, so with this one here as an example, I would say yeah, that's all right, as long as this body, I think what you got to do is with an inside bar is as long as the body of the next move is within the body of the previous, it has to be because obviously by definition we close there and we open there. It's got to be a down candle, so this body has got to be within the body of the previous candle, otherwise it just can't happen. The next body then has to be a bullish body. Doesn't have to be, it can be any length it likes really. It just can't be bigger than the original, because if it is, it's already broken out, we've missed it. So the idea is you place a pending order now above that wick, and the next move is bullish. So trying to find one. Trying to find a bearish one. See, can't see one on the chart. We're just accumulating at the minute still. And you can obviously have a 3 inside bar or a 4 inside bar. You know, at the end of the day, all of these, all these patterns are push accumulation patterns. If you got that many bars inside, yeah, your pending order's there, and it'll either work or it won't. But typically, what we're looking for is a strength of move. So, big strong move bound. Oh, there's one. Perfect. There you go. Here's one. This is exactly a 2 inside bar. Absolute perfect. Textbook. Push down, push up, not broken the highs or the lows. Push back down, not broken the highs or the lows. Entry here. Sell. That's a 2 inside bar. Scanning the charts, trying to find one right in front of me. Do I set the market alert higher time frame to the 15 higher time frame to follow on my 1 minute chart? Yeah. So let me just go back to. I was going to look at hourly. There's not a lot happening on that. I'm just going to give this a bit of time to establish what the hell it wants to do. I don't really want to trade inside this range. It's just horrible. Thinking. So M15. So if you want to trade M15 H1 scalping, what I would do is on the 15-minute chart, look for RSI extensions. What's moved today? Pound's moved a bit, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, nothing's really moved, is it? So what you're looking for is a 15-minute RSI extension. Pick a level, up to you. The bigger the level, the better the opportunity. Yeah. So if you pick, same as anything, if you pick 25 or 80 20s, 75 25 extensions, you're going to have a much higher success rate. So I would, if you're trading M15, I would go with the biggest possible. I would probably go with an 80 20, and obviously you can set the dashboard up to do this. So you know, we're using hourlies here. So on the RSI dash, you would just set it up to use 15-minute RSI extensions. Yeah. So you would just change all these to 15 minutes. Let's do it now, actually. Just make sure I've got the 1 hour set. Yeah. Let's see if we got any, shall we? There we go. So we got an Aussie CAD, but that's only there. So I would say I'd be looking for minimum 75, 25 to 80. So when we get up into there on the 15-minute chart, so if we look at Aussie CAD, we're extended up there, yeah. So I would basically be looking for, literally, on the 1 minute chart, reversals. And looking to take shorts. So these are mean reversion plays, obviously. But if you, the thing with using the higher time frame on the market reversal alert indicator, if you use higher time frame on M15, yeah, you're not going to find that you're really going to get a reversal, because to get a reversal on M15 will have pushed the RSI down already. So what you can do is look for, you could use the dashboard. This is probably the best way to do it, is use the 15-minute reversal alert dashboard. When you get a reversal alert on M15, you know, oh, that's M5, scrap that, M15, you know you've had a reversal. So wait for pullbacks in there and trade M1 short. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can do it. Mean reversion, there are two different strategies. So M15 mean reversion, any time frame mean reversion, we're basically waiting for price to get exhausted. Yeah, so there's a big push. We're waiting for the buyers, in this case, to go, I've had enough, I'm getting out. Yeah, and start selling. When they start selling, the sellers will step in and go, yeah, we'll start selling as well because it's coming down. And you'll get price starting to come down. So when we get extended up here, yeah, we know that any minute now, it's imminent that there's going to be a profit take move. Yeah. So it's one on the screen right here in front of us. Big push. Yeah, up to here. Sellers started to step in. Pushed up again. Sellers started to sell in. So everybody that bought, sold. Everybody that sold, bought. Everybody that bought, sold. Everybody that bought is going to sell soon. Extended. That's what the RSI is doing, but you're only playing mean reversion here. So you are taking the pullback, you're taking the sell. So wherever this is pushed to, you need to look at support resistance. You're playing it back to support and resistance. With M15 H1 strategy, or H1 M5, H4 M15, whichever time frames you want to use, they're more trend-based strategies. So on M15, you wait for a reversal alert, and then you drop down onto M1 and you wait for a pullback into that reversal alert, and you take the retest. Yeah. So that's why when you drop down to M1, yeah, we see the reversal alert rectangle. So when this, let's go back in time. Yeah, so this was, let me extend it so we can see what the hell we're doing. Okay, so this was that reversal alert on M15. Yeah, so this here, yeah, there, that reversal alert on M15 is this. So what we're waiting for is price to come back and retest that 15 minute, and we're taking the retest. So we're assuming that that reversal alert is going to hold, retest, and new market structure is going to form. We're getting in with the trend. We've just had a reversal alert, so that's just disappeared. So yeah, basically that's that strategy. So there are different strategies. RSI is a mean reversion strategy. We're playing exhaustion. All these sellers down here at some point soon have got to get out of their positions. Yeah, all these buyers here are getting tired and they need to get out of their positions. So it's a mean reversion. So it's a short-term move that you're profiting from. With a reversal alert on a higher time frame entering on a lower time frame, you are taking the retest, or trades in the direction of the last higher time frame reversal. That makes sense? Slightly different strategies. It's all explained in the videos on the website about the market reversal alert indicator and the strategies to use with it. But yeah, so they're slightly different. Let's have a look at what Forex is doing. Let's have a quick look at what that's doing actually. Right, so we've broken the lows. So we're just coming down into this potential support. It's big accumulation. This isn't a great area. See if it holds. Might be worth taking one out of there. So this could just be a fake false breakout. May not. So see if we push back up inside of that level. Where are we? 3 o'clock. We've got 1 minute. 3:04. We've got 1 minute left on this candle. So it might be a nice little long to try here. With a very tight stop under there. Okay, long one. I'm just getting ready to get out if we break that double bottom. One more long. Just gonna wait to tick up on the Renko and then I'll get another one in. One more long. Okay, so that's a false breakout potential. So we'll see what happens with price action here. If it closes back down below, that's certainly a nice buy area on the S&P potentially, and obviously it's a breakout of the initial opening 15-minute range. So we quite often see breakout and then come back in for a retest. And that sort of rotational move, or we will come and break out a retest of the initial opening range, one or the other. Trying to do a bullish engulfing look straight out of that area. Very nice. We'll whiz over and have a look at the Forex pairs in a minute and just see if there's any movement. Just looking at my other screen actually. I'm looking on my Surface. I got a Microsoft Surface. Very cool. Pound US, not really gone anywhere. US dollar yen's just breaking out to new highs, only just. Everything's just rotating. It's all rotating still. Nothing's gone anywhere on any pair. None of the majors anyway. We'll have a look at them in a minute. Closing one, closing those out. Don't like that. It's a bit too wicky. Just coming to close back down. I want to see follow through basically. When I get into a position like this, if it's going to be a double bottom bounce, I want to see it go and get some traction. If it's kind of pulling back with a big wick like it is here, it's not very bullish, is it? I want to see some decent movement, especially with 3 contracts on. Probably still work. We'll see if we get a W form down here. So potential here is for that kind of move. While we're waiting for something to happen. So no movement on the US dollar yet in London. We've put a bullish candle in. It's 5 minutes to close on that. Aussie's still pushing against the CAD. Aussie's pushing basically. It's not pushing, it's going up slightly. No movement on the CADs. Swissie's not gone anywhere. Euros not gone anywhere. That's nothing. It's just the market's just dead. It literally is like the entire world's just gone on holiday. You just got to be very patient with any positions you take today, if you take any. Gold's had a bit of a flurry, just taking out the Asian highs. Bitcoin's coming down. Ethereum's coming down. As you can see, we're not going anywhere. Look at that. Good day, Gary. Are you saying good day because you're from Australia? Or are you saying good day because I banked $250? So this is a potential two inside bar setup we got here. We've got big down, we've got a big push up. If this ends up as a bear candle, almost worth jumping in immediately there, getting out there and adding there. And it's a break of the low as well. So potentially this is where we could see rejection. So we've got this little gap formed here, which we've just rejected out of. I've got one short there. Just saying good day. Cool. Good day. Spent 3 months travelling around Australia. The biggest fact I discovered was that Australians have the same word for footwear as we have for underwear. There you go. Selling one more, which was very confusing when I walked into an underwear shop looking for a thong and they gave me a pair of shoes. Not that I'd ever walk into an underwear shop looking for a thong, that's a joke. It's a very tricky point down here. We're either rejecting out of this area or we're looking to accumulate and pop back in. Okay, just tick back up one. Okay, we're breaking out potentially to the upside. Yeah, broken. Scanning out one. Sorry, just doing two jobs at once. S&P looks like it's pushing back inside the range. Closing. So my initial trade idea was actually right. Double bottom. Shouldn't have exited the double bottom. I think I'm getting into. I'm not used to this slow price action. I'm used to being in and out of trades in a couple of minutes. I'm not used to sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for two candles to play out. It's just whipsawing me out all the time because I'm just used to faster price action than this. Trade was perfect. Exactly what I was expecting it to do. It's just too choppy and too slow. I think that's the problem, is the speed at the moment is just catching me out all the time. I think I need to take single contracts and just wait. Be a bit more patient with these because they're just taking far too long. So we've got a bullish engulfing forming on M15 on the Nasdaq now, off of a hammer. So we've got a nice rejection of the lows, bullish engulfing. Probably going to go back up to the highs. But a bit too late now. Charlie, are you in the live room? He's messaging me on Telegram. If you're in the live room, let me know. I can obviously help you in here. Gonna see if I can get a quick 1 bar pullback play. Try and enter and scalp it back up to these highs. Might need to be a couple of pullbacks. Speed this is moving. It's almost like you got to sit here for like 20 minutes for every trade at the moment instead of like a couple of minutes. Everything's just in so slow motion. I'm just going to go long one, and I'm also going to set a buy limit on top of that wick, and I'm going to set a buy stop above that wick, and I'm going to wait and see if it gets up there. Of course, the danger in what I'm doing here is that we are doing slow motion market structure short. So bear me a sec. Tumbleweed, isn't it? The US dollar looks like it's pushing. We've got movement across the board on all US dollar pairs. I say that looks like it's pushing. Obviously, we are getting some positive movement, but Euro US dollar, Pound US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, all coming down. US dollar yen's trying to make new highs, or approaching new highs. So there's the 1 bar pullback. So looking for, if we are Going to get a positive move in the next 15-20 minutes. Looking for either a 2-bar pullback and push, or 1-bar pullback and push somewhere. S&P's coming down. I'm trying to, thinking about it. So this is 1400. This 500 round number is where we're getting stuck at the minute. So it's looking bullish out of here at the minute, but as I say, the price action is just too slow to really get any gauge on anything. Oh, excuse me. Nice wicks to the downside on the Nasdaq and the S&P. Still got an inside bar forming though on the previous move up, so still no bias in the last 10 minutes. Wow. Got the range of movement we've had so far. Okay, pulling back down to test this wick into a second position. And crashing through it. See what happens if we retest 500 level. See if we get another bounce off of that. Still got 2 minutes on this candle. Okay, candle's about to close. We've held the 500 level, or holding the 500 level, just about. Okay, I'm going to assume there's buyer limit orders down here. I'm going to try and push back up in another position long. Wow. 500 still holding, but we're not getting much of a reaction off of it. So just going to sit and wait for this to play out. Not quite sure where I want to get out on this. If it breaks that 500 level, it could still come and retest these lows, but I've got 3 contracts long, so I'm not sure I want to let it get all the way down there. So I'm just going to hovering over the sell button basically just to start scaling out of this if it does pop down. Really got no momentum whatsoever here. But it certainly seems like this 500 level wants to hold at the moment, which would be indicative of potentially a red to green day. We need to crack 600, so we need a 100-point move to the upside, really. Which the speed this is moving is really asking something. Just trying to help somebody with the EA. They don't know how to take a screenshot. I'm not sure I can really explain how to take a screenshot. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, I'm not quite sure how to really help someone with a highly technical EA on a trading platform. Anyway, still holding just 14,499, 14,500. Like pulling teeth though. Literally, we're going to hover this level for 5 minutes. Feels like it wants to pop one way or the other at the minute from here. I'm going to call it down there. Doesn't look like it's going, so I think I might jack this today. It's not going anywhere. Oh, there's only one. If it's the chart and not the setting, right-click the chart and save as picture. No, I want to see his journal tab. Basically, it's just saying somebody saying that EA isn't taking trades, and it's either the smiley face, or they haven't got it turned on, or there's some kind of issue with their settings. But it's quite difficult to help people that aren't very technical, because obviously it's an incredibly technical bit of kit. So it's kind of like saying to somebody, well done passing your driving test, here's a Formula One car. You kind of need to know what you're doing with trading before you start using stuff like that. Oh my God. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I just asked, does the EA trade in the strategy tester with your settings? And the reply has come back, I don't think so, because I just tried it now and it makes a weird whistle sound. Oh, help me out. How do I answer that? Buy one more. Sometimes I just give up. I don't know how to answer these questions. It makes a weird whistle sound when you run an EA in the strategy tester. I can't help. I really can't. It doesn't work. Help me. Frigging Packlets. That's the first time I've heard that. Let's take this a biscuit for the tech support question of the year. I know we're only in February. Does the EA take a trade in the strategy tester with your settings? I don't think so. It makes a weird whistling sound. I'm crying. I'll have to get back to him later. I've had the EA for 3 weeks now, and I'm not a millionaire. Oh, sorry, Adrian. Did it say that on the packet when you bought it? Red line under report on the strategy tester says mismatched chart errors. Okay. Right. Okay. Sorry, I'll do this technical support later. It's the fan clutch. Yeah, it could well be. Could be the diff gone, possibly. I really don't know. He sent me a set file. I won't do it on the stream. Right, ticking up. Finally, we're ticking up. I can't see through my tears. Sorry. I didn't even know MT4 could make a whistling sound. I really want to ask him to record it, but seeing as he can't take a screenshot, I don't want to ask him to try and record a sound. Sorry, hold it together. Hold it together. Okay, ticking up nice and quick. YouTube videos on EA. He's watched all the videos. I don't think it's an EA issue. I think it's another issue. Okay, so we got some nice movement to the upside. I'm going to hold this. I'm not going to bank. I'm going to hold it and assume at the moment we are just going to accumulate and attempt to high. It's bullish. Market structure seems like it wants to go from the 500 level. So I'm going to expect a break of that high. Just not going to expect it to happen very quickly. Have they got some dates input into to run the tester? Sounds like the tester is starting and finishing without doing anything. Yeah. That's. An unmatched data error, mismatched data error is basically you haven't got enough data. You're asking it to trade without data, so you just pick a different data set, or the answer to that, if you ever get that happen, is you just run it in whatever data in your chart. So if you open your chart and go back and see how far you've got back and hit the home key. So I've got back to the 15th of November 21. So if I tried to run an EA and a strategy tester now with October as a start date, it would go, I can't do it because I haven't got it. So there's an easy solution to that. If you just keep hitting the home button, as you can see, it scrolls back and loads more data. But that doesn't explain why it's not taking trades live. Because it's obviously something to do with the whistle. Oh, that's going to make me smile for the rest of the day, that. Aha, okay, I've changed the dates and give it till today and year, and now it shows results in the strategy tester. So the set file works. Okay, pushing back up again. Looking for 550. God, it'd be lovely if the S&P goes for a run for this level. Straight out the top. This is what we had yesterday, wasn't it? Literally, just as I gave up, we got the move. So I'm going to be patient today. I'm also going to be cautious. I'm going to set a hard stop in case that run goes obviously the opposite direction. Okay, just coming up to 550. If we get through here, we should be clear. If we can break these highs here, just should be clear to get up to the highs now. Waiting for that DAX to do something. It's stuck in a small range. Yeah. Tell me about it. Just about to get into one more. Okay, coming up to the highs. S&P's retesting the highs. I want to see a pop here. Ideally want to see it tick through there and just pop. Don't want all these, there's a lot of sellers will be sitting up here. Don't want all this buying pressure to get absorbed up here. So if we don't get a pop by the close of this candle, likelihood is we're just going to absorb and come back down into a range. So I just want to see a nice pop through that level. Bit of buying pressure coming through. There we go. Nasdaq's done it. S&P's done it. Okay, we're off. Finally. Okay, selling one. Selling two. So just selling up at this potential rejection level. US dollar's dropping as well. This is another good example of what I keep saying about when the US dollar pushes, the indices drop. When the US dollar drops, the indices push. The US dollar has just started dropping. Exactly the same time as the indices pop. So always good negative correlation with those. There's only so many times you can ask the same question. Like, I've asked the same question 3 times now, and I get no answer, but just some other comment. I can't help if you can't give me any information. Waiting for the DAX to do something. Yeah, pound CAD hit 100% ADR, but it's not on my scanner. Pound CAD. No, I've not hit ADR yet. Check your broker. I mean, you may have hit ADR. It's not that far away. Obviously, you different brokers will have different ADR levels based on ranges, but and obviously overnight candles. So if your broker spread down to here. Mine didn't. Mine spread down to there. If your broker spread down to there, you'll get an ADR hit and I won't. Okay, so sellers are absorbing the buying pressure up at the highs. S&P starting to come down. So it's basically banged straight off of 1600. I would expect a pullback from here. I'm going to sell one more. Just going to cover that. I'll take a tiny loss on it. I've got 480 banked. I'll take a tiny loss on that. I'm going to assume that we're going to come down and do a test of that wick. and go from there. If we don't and we just go, that's fine. But obviously, if we break through and basically put a bearish engulfing on this candle, I'll get out, go flat, which will knock about 30 off of that. So 0.1 lots, no basket trading, took trade both ways, close trade when opposite trade opens, aggressive mode, 5 breakers to show, if that's what you mean, set on initial reversal of that. Okay. So I'm talking you through my technical support. This is what I go through every day, by the way. Occasionally, you'll see me go, not postal, but I get asked questions in the Telegram group over and over again, which are the same questions, which I don't mind asking because there's a lot of information out there and you can't answer everything. You can't look at everything all the time. But every now and again, people ask the same question or disagree to such an extent that I'll just give up and have to get cross a little bit. But some people, and I get, I don't know, 50 to 100 DMs a day in that region, which I have to obviously get through. So if I don't reply to you very quickly, that's usually why. But I am on Telegram 24/7, apart from when I'm asleep, when I'm thinking about being on Telegram. But sometimes you just get into questions about something that just go on and on and on and on. And unfortunately, some people are just not going to make it technically because they don't have the skills to understand what's going on with the platform and trading in general. It's a very, very hard thing to do. And it's sometimes quite difficult to be polite. I'm very much a tell it like it is type person, as you probably have aware if you've been in here for a while. And I'd much rather be honest with people and say, go and do something else. It's not going to work. But yeah, I get a lot of questions a day. So I don't want to bore you with them in here. I'm going to turn this into the technical support stream for the indicators. If anybody's an expert in the indicators, I'm quite happy to employ hand over the reins of technical support to somebody else that is highly technical. Might be able to help. If anybody fancies helping out, you'll soon be on board with it. Promise. Just coming up to retest these highs on the NAS. This is a very, very strong level, very important level. We've got a double top here, so we're putting in a triple top test. I've only got the one contract long, which I'm going to run. I'm just going to trail this up into profit as we have popped through. So trailing it basically on the pullbacks. So next stop is there, which is this accumulation break to the downside. So there's going to be potentially some selling pressure sitting in there, assuming we get through this level first. We haven't cracked this yet. Looks like we've got some sellers starting to come in on the S&P as well. I'm just going to lock this one in. Just under that wick. I think this is probably going to come down. So I'm just going to lock this profit in. Kind of like to keep it above 550 today. And then I'm going to call it a day after this trade. Just going to keep that locked in. I don't want to over trade and give it all back. Finally actually get a day where the market moves. Want to make sure I utilize it really. So quickly looking at the US dollar, we're just pulling back in this range again, back down to these lows. So we're putting a double bottom in at the moment. So we've still got no movement out of London or Asia for the US dollar today. So that's the second day on the trot so far. I mean, we haven't obviously closed the day out yet, but that's the second day on the trot. Almost the third day on the trot. We did poke our head above London on Friday, but kind of really third day on the trot with no movement. So we are accumulating, obviously, because there's no news this week. We're just accumulating ahead of Thursday. So Thursday we've got the CPI figures. So I expect Thursday is when we're going to get our movement when the CPI is released. So tomorrow we have got some news, although it be very light news. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But at the moment, we just look like we're accumulating ahead of a move. If you look at this on a higher time frame, we are sitting here waiting. We're not contracting. We're literally just accumulating sideways. So we're going to get one or two things happen on the break. Market structure, we're expecting to be a move to the upside. Obviously, if it isn't going to be that, then this is kind of second leg of potentially 3 legs down. So we may get down to the bottom here. But we'll see. So it's going to be quite a critical day, sort of tomorrow, Thursday, to see what happens with movement on the US dollar. But the rest of it is kind of we're still going. That's good. Yeah, ADR on the pound yen I've just got hit as well. So the pound's moving, as you can see. So the pound odd, pound CAD, we're moving on the pound. We've got a weak yen at the moment, so we've got a fair amount of movement against the yen by the looks of things. Yeah, Euro yen's pushing, Swiss yen, CAD yen. So we've got a weak yen and we've got a weak US dollar starting. But apart from that, not a lot of other movement. So we might get some. Let's have a look at the pound yen. Pound is a long, so I kind of difficult to trade the pound at the moment. So we're just breaking out these highs on the pound yen. Next target is up there. So if we get up to 125, 130 roughly ADR today, really nice short opportunity on that one. Just being reversion trade back down. Drop down to M5. Wait for a reversal alert. It's a long way away at the moment because we've got a big strong push. So you'd need to wait for pullback. Put in a new high. That'll give you a structure break there. A bit too far away, that one. 4 hours still flat. Hours. Oh, that's our 15-minute, isn't it? Let me change that. Let me save that actually. Handy to have. Let's load up the hourlies. So hourly, we still got nothing either. So FX wise, we've just got pound movement happening at the minute. A little bit of euro strength as well. Euro's trying hard as well. So, but again, we still haven't gone anywhere in New York yet. Pound CAD, you just got hit. Yeah. Still holding. these highs, looking like we do want to crack through. That wick held perfectly. It's a good little tip when you're trailing stops, yeah. Trailing stops below wicks, because we often get, exactly as we did there, a wick test, what I call a wick test. So we pulled down into that wick. So this is where we last pushed up to. Pushed up again, pulled back into that wick and bounced. So when you're trailing, it's nice to trail those wicks, because there are obviously points where you're going to get support and resistance. Think of it as a time frame thing, yeah. So this wick here, if you look at it on a 1 minute chart, this is a support, isn't it? We broke through support. That is going to act as a support level, the high on the 1 minute chart. That's why wicks hold, and then obviously on a higher time frame, you'll see the same sort of thing playing out again and again. I'm just going to close this out. Flat. 600, round number. Oh, 609. Round number plus 9. There we go. A couple of coffees. Okay, so that's been done on the futures. Really good example of a trend pullback on Renko. Remember I keep saying about the 1 bar and the 2 bar pullbacks when you get a trend. Yeah, so we had a 1 bar pullback there twice. We had a 2 bar pullback. We had a 1 bar pullback. We're in the middle of a 2 bar pullback now. So 1 bar and 2 bar pullbacks on trends, in strong trends, really good. So if you were entering, I'd already got 3 or 4 positions on long from down here. But if you're adding on the way up, those are your add points. Yeah, so you would add after you get the pullback and the confirmation break of the highs. Yeah, so the 1 minute chart, which I was just looking at, where I had my stop underneath the high, that was that wick. Or was it that? No, it was that wick, sorry. That wick there. Yeah, so that was the top of the 5 minute candle. And basically we wick tested there, which was the 5 minute high. There you go, see exactly where I put the line. A little bit of lesson. Still pushing, but I'm not going to trade any more on that, so I'll leave it there. I've got some technical support to do. I'm going to see if I can solve this man's whistle. If you've just entered the live room, it's not going to mean anything to you, but we've got a whistling EA I need to fix. So I'm going to call it a day there. FX wise, probably not doing an awful lot on the EAs. Doubt I've closed anything else out because we've had no movement. I will just check quickly. So that's my strategy quant EAs. 1% drawdown on H1M15, Euro Pound. We've got a strong pound at the moment, so that's probably going to TP in a minute. Euro US dollar, obviously we've got a weak US dollar, so that's just sitting sideways at the minute. H4 M15, Euro odd, we banked earlier. Got pound US dollar short, it's just sitting sideways. 0.2% on trend pullback. Trend pullback is never the trend pullback strategy is not as good as the mean reversion strategy. It tends to get into slightly more drawdown, and also it doesn't produce as fast results. The trend pullback, it's not as good, so that's not doing anything much at the minute. I've got one in profit and one in slight drawdown. And cop bias, we've had a big day. We've got 1% in drawdown. Still waiting on euro shorts, and euro yen is obviously pushing at the minute. So yeah, nothing more banked there today. This thing's obviously going without me. This is where you really wish you'd have taken 4 contracts, gone and made a cup of coffee, got into a conversation with the wife, and come back half an hour later and gone, oh, I forgot I was trading with $1,500 in the bank. Has happened. It's not a very professional way to do it, though. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30. Same as usual. We'll do an analysis of what's happened this afternoon in New York. See if there's any setups for London. And obviously, if you've got any questions, chuck them in the Telegram group. If you're not in the Telegram group, there's links in the YouTube page and all over the website. If you like the stream, give us a thumbs up. And hopefully you can make some money this afternoon. We've got some movement starting, so fingers crossed we can make a bit more. But I will be back at 8:30 tomorrow morning. There's no news to look out for. Actually, there is, but it's not big. So we have got New Zealand dollar at 2 a.m. It's only inflation expectations, which is kind of inflation forecast, which is kind of known most of the time anyway, which is why it doesn't have a lot of impact. So, yeah, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. So, yeah, nothing really overnight to worry about. And if you've got no New Zealand dollar or Aussie on anyway, it doesn't affect you. So, okay, so have a good afternoon. Hopefully make some profit. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30. Have a good one.